Two old Cajuns nerding out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to our the first episode of our podcast, Two Old Cajuns Nerding Out. My name is Bo, and this is my buddy John.
Hey guys, what's up?
And we're going to be talking about different things like slasher movies and TV shows that we grew up on, just nerdy stuff that we like, and just hopefully that everybody else will
Video
get
games,
into. Yeah, video games,
comic books,
action figures, stuff like that.
shoot, no.
Nah. But I tell you what, John, tell me a little bit about yourself, and then I'll go after.
All right, so yeah, we are both Cajuns. I am born and raised in this little town, New Iberia.
I'm sorry.
Yes, if you were here, you would know. But little town, New Iberia, very, very south, very close to the water. And yeah, we're in hurricane season, so, but grew up there, and I'm in my mid ages. I'm age of 44, and it's a crazy thing that today when we're recording this is actually it's anniversary. This is starting a podcast kind of on a somber note for a second, but it's the anniversary of my father passing away.
Oh damn, man.
But tomorrow was my little girl's birthday.
Oh, yeah, well,
So it's kind of it's like a
yeah.
circle of life thing. It's always kind of been a thing that kind of helped me out, but like I was really thinking about today, like I don't have a lot of stuff that I can play for my kids to show them my father,
Right.
like I don't have a lot of stuff. I had stuff that got destroyed in the hurricanes before. We had pictures and stuff, some tapes.
And that's the crappy thing about living in Louisiana.
Right. And that stuff's gone. Doesn't come back. And so I can't show her. I can't really find something where I can play his voice for her.
Right.
I can hear it still in my head, but that's anyway. But this, like doing something like this, like a podcast, something like this, is capturing me at this moment in time. And maybe it's not the exact side of her I want her to see or hear, but later
Right.
on, like when she's a little bit older, she's like, "Oh wow, my dad did this. It's online somewhere. My dad was sometimes a dickhead."
No, I'm sorry. Like I said, I mean, you know me. I have a 15-year-old, and she automatically thinks that already when she sees my YouTube and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that my little boy, I mean, him being 6, later on down the line, anything happens with me, I mean, with my heart problem or even with my job, I'm hoping that he can find this stuff and be like, "Oh, that was my dad. He may have been an asshole or something, but yeah, I can hear his voice and stuff like that."
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing, man, and that's really awesome. I mean, like there's pictures and everything and stuff like that. I mean, now it's like easier for media to have for us and stuff like that, but this is like us expressing ourselves. It's a little bit more
Right. It's not just a picture like, "Oh, hey, this is my dad." Well, who
Right.
was he? And like you
What was
don't
it?
have that. Like nowadays, especially with the internet and things like that, like we put our lives on Facebook, and I miss MySpace, but yeah, we put our lives on that now, and we record videos. I mean, me and you, we record stuff for YouTube, so hopefully that'll still be around whenever our grandkids, great grandkids, and they can just look at that and see us when we were younger, see us when they've never seen us and stuff like that.
I have to ask you because it came up, and I don't want to interrupt you, but
Right.
have you ever tried to log into MySpace?
I had logged in years ago and I deleted it. Now it's just like a music thing. I created a new one just to see, but it's not like it was.
Oh no! If you try to log in like with an original account, I guess not.
It's not
in
there?
Oh, it's just broken.
Oh wow.
Like it's the most broken thing I've ever seen. Like you can see like fragments of pictures and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man,
Well, it's because Facebook bought it and they did what they could to break it apart.
oh, they destroyed that thing. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, about me. So grew up in New Iberia. Grew up with my grandmother. My mom was a single mom. So I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house. My uncle, huge nerd growing up. He
I didn't have that.
Oh man, he was huge in the Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, Star Wars, and comic books. His two big comic books was Thor and Conan. He was a big sword and sorcery guy.
Oh, nice.
So I would pick up a lot of those comics and look through them. Those are my first two real big comics. And anytime like Spider-Man or anybody would pop up in like one of those, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
A little crossover.
Yeah, and like man, like back when Star Wars was coming out, they did like this like it was almost like you would pre-order it before it was coming out. Like you get these action figures. I think it was Montgomery Ward's way
Right.
back in the day. These things are like worth millions now. If you have it now, you're set. You know, it's one of those things you just sell. You're good. Take it to Pawn Stars. They're not gonna believe it.
Right.
I got to get a guy about this. Anyway, yeah, this had like all the original figures, and you got it like before any of them came out in this like huge collector's box. And it was like the ones with like the lightsabers were in their arms.
Oh, no,
Like
yeah, I
those,
remember
yeah,
those.
those
Yeah,
old ones. But they
I'm
bought
too
us all
I'm too
that.
young for those, but I remember seeing them.
But yeah, that's what we had got, and of course we savagely destroyed them things
Oh
when
yeah,
we were kids.
we don't understand until we're older.
No, no. But yeah, but being exposed to that really got me started young, liking all kinds of stuff like that, like comics and fantasy stuff like that. My mom and them like were like in the video games. We got an Atari as a kid, so
Yeah, we
oh
had an
man,
Atari.
we had an Atari with a ton of games. Like I used to love playing like Pac-Man, Pitfall, like
Dig Dug,
Dig Dug,
Centipede,
Barnstormer was my game.
Centipede, Millipede.
Yep. And then my cousins had a Nintendo. I remember like getting a Nintendo. Man, those things are so awesome back in that day with the big styrofoam boxes and stuff.
Look, the graphics, they're so awesome.
Dude, those things are amazing. Like sometimes, like you have to really use your imagination. Like for most of it, you have to use your imagination. Um, but it's so cool, man. It's a different time,
Oh yeah.
um, but all that time, like that whole era is gone. Like there's no more Saturday morning cartoons.
No, that's
You know,
that's the thing that sucks.
the afternoon cartoons. I mean, it's not none of that's there. I mean, cable TV is
Yeah, cable TV is almost a thing of the past too.
so yeah. We're gonna be talking about a lot of that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
if you like, kind of like get nostalgic about stuff and just kind of reminiscent about stuff and just bullshitting, this is yeah. You're welcome. Welcome all.
But,
And definitely topics if you want. There's something topic you want us to talk about.
look, I tell you what, since we're learning more about you right now, what were some of the movies you grew up with?
Some of the movies that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So man, like I grew up with like cartoon stuff. Like man, with my cousins, I was always watching Annie. I had to watch Annie as a kid. Like I think of like
Tomorrow.
oh god, it's been like permanently in my brain. That like The Land Before Time, pretty much like all the Disney cartoons we would watch a lot.
I probably still cry when Littlefoot's mom.
Oh yeah, but yeah, everything Disney we were like pretty much exposed to. We were like watch a lot of cartoons together. Movies that I liked was like like The Karate Kid, Flight of the Navigator, Goonies, of course. Uh, and this sounds really crazy, and it's so telling about the times that we used to live in. Is that we used to want to see Star Wars if it wasn't playing on TV, you weren't really going to see it.
Right.
Like like unless you had it like somebody copied it, because it wasn't like in the video stores.
No.
Because half the time. So you had to wait for it to come around. Like usually around the holidays, it would come out and we get super excited and stuff.
See, I lucked out because in the early to mid '90s, my mom's cousin opened up a video store, so we got like, hey, there's new movies coming in. Oh, get it for your kids. No, so we get to watch the new movies before people would rent them. So we lucked out a lot with that.
Oh, that's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite movies as a kid growing up?
As a kid, well, Goonies for one, but I mean, I remember, 4 years old going in. First movie I remember seeing in the movie theater was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
At 4 years old?
At 4 years, I mean, it came out in '90. I was 4. So
Wow.
yeah, I remember going and see that and watching that, and I was like, holy crap, the turtles are alive.
Yeah, I mean, at 4 years old, that would be
Yeah.
like,
And
that's
then,
hardcore. And I remember the first movie I saw. I can still remember it. The first movie I saw was E.T.
E.T.
Yeah, and I remember the movie theater. It's like now it's a church now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Which is I mean, there's this is a podcast that has a lot of tangents and stuff like that. I used to work for an alarm company,
Oh,
and
nice.
so I would get to go inside these buildings and check out stuff to make sure the alarm stuff was all good and everything. You have to look at how many windows they have, how many doors they have.
Right.
You basically just inspecting the premises for their best safety, in case somebody breaks in. Well, the church that used to be that movie theater called me and wanted me to give them an estimate, and they didn't let me inside. Like they didn't have the key for the main thing, but God, I was so close. Like
You
I'm
wanted to go
talking,
see
I'm
what it
talking,
was,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm talking about from when I was like a little like kid to like Like this is maybe like 8 years ago, or something. Um, and dude, I was on my tiptoes. I was like, oh my god,
I want to go in
I
there.
want to see what they did with it. You know, it's like if there'd be something where I could tell, like, oh, well, that was where the popcorn was, or
Yeah,
you know,
something
well,
like
that,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
like you know, holy crap, they still have a damn, you know, Ernest Goes to Camp poster hanging up
Oh yeah, that would be awesome actually.
right next to,
It's right next to Jesus Goes to Camp.
right. I would have watched that.
But yeah.
But yeah, any other movies growing up?
Um, I remember, like I said, I mean, from when I was 4, and then 3 years later, 7 years old, my mom bringing me, because I get the nerdiness from my mom. Like my dad had us growing up learning how to box because I mean we're short. My dad's shorter than me, probably not even 5'5", and he's not even 5'5", and he was a Golden Glove boxer. So he was like, my kids are gonna know how to defend themselves. So he taught us how to box. My mom, I got the nerdiness from my mom, like Star Trek. She, I'm not sure she likes Star Wars now. She likes Lord of the Rings.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she'll borrow them from me, and so she asked me if I was watching Rings of Power today. I was like, but then she brought me to watch Jurassic Park, and I remember that 7 years old. Surprisingly, I wasn't shitting on myself at the T-Rex, but yeah, I remember watching that, and then I'm trying to think of some other movies around that time besides. Oh, you're gonna laugh at this, yeah, because it was around that time. I used to love, don't ask why, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Ooh.
I was 7. I mean, come on. I mean, you got to give me a little break with that one.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember. Like, I can't remember if I saw it at the theater or not. I know I didn't like it the first time I saw it.
Even worse. Not only did I like the Super Mario Brothers movie, I liked the Double Dragon movie.
Ooh.
And that's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Toss-up. Now, I'd rather watch the Double Dragon movie now than the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I could kind of watch the Double Dragon movie more from Alyssa Milano and
even Robert Patrick.
Yeah, I was about to say, man.
Going into the Mario Brothers movie now,
Is there any 2 video game movies that are shittier? Well, okay, never mind. I already answered that question for myself. The Yui Boa movies are all shittier than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going into Super Mario Bros. Movie now as an adult, now that I know some of the behind the scenes stuff,
Dude,
it's even great to watch. Yeah, knowing that Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were drunk throughout the whole thing,
Yeah.
just great. And Dennis Hopper just did it because his kid was like, "Go ahead and do it," and then all of a sudden his kid, like in an interview before he passed, his kid was like, he said, and then he was like, "Oh, did you see it?" His kid was like, "Why'd you take it? I took it for you."
Oh, fuck. Yeah, man. Like oh god. Like that was a paycheck.
Yeah.
And like
what he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, man.
He says, "I took it because my kid needed a pair of sneakers, and my son, after washing it, goes, I didn't need shoes that bad."
Wow. Well, at least let it try to share.
Right.
Like I saw an interview with Cage, where he was like he doesn't let his kids watch his movies. You seen that?
Which one?
Nicolas Cage?
Oh no.
No, he doesn't let his kids watch any of his movies.
But yeah, he named his son Kal-El. But okay. No.
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to see like a different side. Like that's not who he is. He's a weird guy.
I want to see how he is when he's not acting. Like, what the hell? But come to think of it, Dennis Hopper saying that Mario Brothers was the worst movie he's ever taken. Did he ever watch The Crow Wicked Prayer? Have you seen that one?
That is the one with Edward
with
Furlong.
Yeah, he played a pimp called El Nino,
No, I did not see that one.
and it was horrible.
If I seen it, I blacked it out of my mind. And I
You
saw the
want
one.
to.
I saw the one before that too.
Crow Salvation, it was here and there. Fred Ward was in it. He was good.
Yeah,
You wanna
he's
know- you wanna
good
know-
in pretty much most
Oh yeah,
things.
like Tremors. You want to know what I clap for? I'm not a big fan of Kirsten Dunst. When they sewed her mouth shut in that movie, I was like, hey.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you gotta stick with the first Crow when it comes to that. That's another movie that, like, I was 4 years, not even 4 years old, 1994, so I was 8, and my mom's let me and my little brother, who's 6, watch The Crow.
See, okay, I was thinking about 8. My dad showed us Die Hard, and like,
Yippee-ki-yay.
oh man, that shit was crazy. I remember seeing. I was just, in Predator. We saw Predator really young. That
I
shit.
saw that
was,
really young too. I
yeah.
saw Rambo young.
Rambo or First Blood or
First Blood.
You saw First Blood young.
Yeah, First Blood young.
Okay,
Which isn't as bad as Rambo 2.
well,
Because they
did you
amped up the
did you
killing.
like Rambo 2?
Yeah.
Do you like Rambo 2 now? Like, or did like vice versa? Has that switched or flip flopped at any point in time?
I would rather Rambo 3 than Rambo than First Blood Part 2.
Wait, what?
Because
What?
it's something with, I don't know, I'm trying to think. No, it's actually First Blood Part 2 I like more than Part 3. But
Okay. Let's clear the
Yeah.
air. Okay.
I had to think
So
about
First Blood part. Okay, so Rambo 3, they got rid of the First Blood after
Yeah.
Rambo 2.
Yeah.
So Rambo 3 is where he's in Afghanistan.
Yes, that's where it got me confused. It's the China. Is it China that he's in, or no, Vietnam?
He's back in Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so
That's
it
the one
is
you
First
like?
Blood Part 2. Yeah, that's the one I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so like I used to love the second one, First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
You know, like he's got the cool bow and everything. Got the helicopter scenes, awesome.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, it's the one where he blows up the guy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
Oh no, that's a movie so old it's too bad. But as an adult, I don't know, man. I love First Blood.
First Blood is good. I mean, and knowing that they actually have you seen that alternate ending? How
Well,
it
I
was
read the
supposed
book.
to end?
I read the
yeah.
book.
The book ends how they were supposed to end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And man, like, say what you want about, people shit on Stallone a lot and stuff like that. That dude fucking was acting in that end of that movie, man.
Oh yeah, Stallone is a good actor. There's some things where you just like Rhinestone, but there's not something.
Right. Well.
We won't talk about that.
Rhinestone.
But
I
yeah.
want to say 80s Revisited. Yeah, that's a plug in there. I think they actually did a thing for Rhinestone. Which, even if not, definitely check out 80s Revisited. Great podcast. And yeah, this is our first episode. Try to get a little bit more formalic and like get like a little different little like parts set up for it. But basically, we'll get more plugins and stuff more in show notes. So basically, what I'm saying is, if we say something in there, we're going to try to make an effort that we put it in the notes for the episode, and you'll be able to listen to this. This is going to be on YouTube. This is going to be on iTunes, wherever you're listening to it and stuff like that. Give it a like, give it a up, whatever they got on it, whichever Stitcher.
Thumbs up,
Yeah.
And you're gonna understand that Cajuns just go on a tangent. We'll talk about something, and all of a sudden something will remind us of something else, and we'll go off on that.
That's the name of the show. Nerding out. We're just okay. So you're talking about some movie stuff that you like. So a little bit more. Let's talk about some of the cartoons that we were into. So,
That was.
man.
I'll let you go first. Yeah.
Okay. So some of the cartoons I was into, we'll probably have something in common, but we do have an age gap in between and stuff like that. So my big one was, like, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that was mine too.
That was, doing that, the first 5-episode little arc played. I remember that summer, or whenever that, it was, when I played, it was like on Channel Chicago, whatever that was on the satellite.
Right.
That's all I knew it as. But yeah, man, those episodes played, and I was just like, holy shit! Like every other cartoon before that had pretty much been for my brother. My brother was like, "This is my Inspector Gadget. We're watching my cartoon." We're like, "Judge, you're watching my cartoon." There was came out, I was like, "This is my shit right here."
We're watching my shit now.
Dude, it was like amazing, and I couldn't get enough. Like, and then like once the show, like it was 5 episodes and it stopped.
Yeah.
And you're like,
because it was just basically meant to be like a big toy commercial.
yeah.
And then they were like, kids want more of this crap, so let's...
Exactly, and I was straight up like that. No more, like, but yeah. And then at first I got my toys, and I mean we could talk Turtles for forever. First toy was Donatello, but I couldn't get enough. And when they started playing it regularly,
oh yeah,
wow.
That's how, dude. My backpack for kindergarten was Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
We have an old tape. For some reason, my brother videotaped me and my little brother fighting, and you can see my Ninja Turtle backpack. And it was just a black backpack with all 4 Ninja Turtle heads. But I saw something about it the other day when people thought, oh, the animation, they messed up the animation a lot.
A lot.
Well, a lot of that was mistakes, but the title screens where you see Leonardo's headband orange,
Mm-hmm.
that actually isn't a mistake. When they first got the notes before they switched it to blue, Leonardo was the orange one in the toy notes,
Hmm.
and then they switched them to Michelangelo and Leonardo being blue, being the leader. They thought blue would be more of a heroic color.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Oh man, dude, Thundercats.
I remember that.
You were into that one. Man, Pirates of Dark Water.
I didn't know that one.
Pirates of Dark Water. It's about like there's this corruption that's kind of going across the world and stuff like that. Spreading, like, think of like Breath of the Wild, like the calamity stuff spreading.
Okay. The malice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like almost the whole world's covered in water. Now think Wind Waker. We're gonna quote Zelda here a lot.
Right.
And then there's this boy. He's like the chosen one.
So it's like Zelda. Okay.
Yeah, and then the bad guy is a big guy. He's got
Is his name Ganon? No, I'm joking.
Bloth. No, yeah, it is Bloth. But it was really cool. It was very like it was episodic, which is unusual for cartoons.
Especially a Saturday morning.
Yeah, like you would see like continuity and stuff, man. Like there's 13 treasures they were trying to find that
Right.
would like cure the land, and it was really cool. It was like they had a video game that was pretty badass, like on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, nice.
But like it was Ren. He was like the main guy. He was like kind of like the prince. He had like a blue suit, little ponytail. If you would see a picture of it, I bet you would
I
recognize
probably
it.
would. I mean,
As I'm talking, look it up on your phone.
uh,
They had the girl. I can't remember. Like she was kind of like acrobatic and stuff. They had the guy. He was like the pirate with the big sword. The action figures were pretty cool.
there's always a pirate with a big sword.
Yeah, and then they had like this like fucking snarf ass thing. It was like some really owl bird shit. It was annoying as hell. I always wanted it to just die.
Kind of like Orko
Oh man, no, it's like
or
this.
Snarf.
This makes Snarf like no, like
So it was Navi, like Navi on on Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. Yeah, about there.
Yeah, I don't recognize that.
You don't recognize it at all?
No.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But that was another one I watched. Batman the Animated Series.
Oh yeah, who didn't watch Batman?
Oh my god, it's so good. It's coming back. It's
Oh,
coming
yeah.
back. Let's see. What else? What about you?
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. See, that was like I was kind of like getting into like some of the later stuff at that time, or video. I was getting more into video games.
Right. Gargoyles. I like watching that. Talking about episodic stuff. I mean, and how dark it was for Disney. But then talking about Disney, I mean, Gummy Bears, Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Stuff
See, I like
that.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers,
See-
and that was a cool one because like I did like how it had like the episodic opening.
Right.
Yeah.
See, but there's something that people who are younger than us won't understand is when I was growing up, I'm surprised I saw a lot of these Disney shows because Disney was actually a premium channel when cable first came into our area.
Right.
And it was channel 22 on the box. I remember that. And you had to pay extra for that. So we didn't have that. The only time I got to see some of this stuff was the free weekends to see that. And but Nickelodeon was on there. So I remember like Nickelodeon shows. My dad refused to let us watch Ren and Stimpy, and I see why now. But
Smart man.
we were pissed off at him whenever we couldn't watch it. Ren and Stimpy should not have been on there, but like Doug, I love Doug and Rugrats.
So yeah, I mean, I was like all like right at. I was kind of
Yeah.
like level 2 at that
Yeah.
point.
So I have a little cousin who's probably about 8 or 9 years younger than me, and we still call her that. She gets pissed off, but we call her Angelica because she would act exactly like Angelica from Rugrats. So, and that's what I grew up with. But any other cartoon? What about? Oh, I mean, we did some video games. What about the newer video games as you were getting into your teens and stuff like that?
Oh, like I mean, every video game system I pretty
Oh, yeah.
much had coming out. So I mean, dude, I could go on and on. Like, had the NES, the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo was like so amazing when it came out.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo 64, I got at launch. We're getting that, and like I had a launch one and it burnt out. Like
Oh damn.
it was crazy. We're playing Turok 64, and like the second we beat it, like the credits are rolling, and like it just fried.
Well, at least you got to beat the game.
Yeah, it was cool.
Man, I
I was
remember
like, man,
Turok.
I played that shit so hard that freaking destroyed it, man.
Yeah, we had a 64. I remember getting that, and my parents, growing up poor, it kind of sucks. So when we got something like that, it was huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we couldn't complain. Like my parents didn't get us Mario with the first game for it. Didn't get us even. I mean, well, by the time when we got the Nintendo 64, Zelda wasn't out yet. Ocarina of Time wasn't out yet, but they got us Extreme G. Have you ever played that?
Yes.
Extreme G, and I actually have that now for a 64 because that's a game we grew up on, and
Well, yeah,
we
right.
ended up loving it.
There's some nostalgia there. So like for Nintendo, for the original Nintendo, we had like a couple games, but we had got Mario 2, like right when it came out, and like
Was it Doki Doki Panic?
yeah, but we beat it super quick.
Yeah,
I think I
the
beat it
easiest
like
one.
oh yeah, but I went to school with this girl Becky, and she was like, she had they were rich, and like she had like a shitload of games, so like she always wanted to borrow Mario 2, so she would just be like, I'd be like, let me borrow. Like I would just keep swapping out games that she had.
And she just wanted Mario 2?
Yeah, she just wanted. I'd give her Mario 2, and I'd go through like the list of games that she would have. I would just kind of recycle. But she had like Section Z, which is a really cool kind of game. She had Skate or Die, which was freaking
Okay,
awesome.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that one was really cool. Dude, she had Metal Gear, which like my brain couldn't handle at the time. The original Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I couldn't get past like the third or fourth screen. And I would always go back to it. Like I would like always cycle back to it. Like I would borrow a game or two and be like, "Fuck it, give me that Metal Gear game again." I'm like, I gotta figure this bitch out. And I was like, cause like, dude, it came like the back of the box or whatever. It came with a poster. One of the something like that had just like all the weapons in the game. And I was like, there's fucking all these cool things, man, like gas mask and all this cool shit, like remote control missiles and shit.
You're just like, I'm gonna get this.
I'm gonna get this shit because all I have is cigarettes. I need to see how cool this game could be. And then I'd go, give me Psych Bike. All right, yeah, cool. Psych Bike's really
Psych
fun.
Bike.
Yeah, we played that for a little bit. What was it? She had one more. Oh, RC Pro-Am.
Oh god.
Like RC Pro-Am. Well, I've been busting that for a little bit and be like, fuck, give me that Metal Gear again.
I tell you what, for the NES, being that my mom worked at a video store, have you ever played Bubble Bobble?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we had Bubble Bobble 2 constantly. And my cousin, she had an NES, and she had this one game. It's like a prequel to Bubble Bobble. It's called Rainbow Island. And that game was amazing. We would sit there all the time. Me and my siblings still talk about it. Like my two of my oldest ones, because my other sister, she graduated in '93, so she wasn't there for like the Nintendo, and she was there for the Atari. Like she remembers Pitfall and Dig Dug and stuff like that. But my dad, still 60-some years old, still talks about the Atari. Still wished it worked. But
Go and just plug into the TV.
Oh yeah, but now like we still talk about Rainbow Island. Hell, my brother sent us a video the other day from YouTube of a gameplay through Snake, Rattle, and Roll.
Oh, man.
And I watched that thing. I watched that thing for the whole time going, because I was in the airport. I was just sitting down, doing nothing, flying home from work, and I was like, I gotta know what happens at the end. And all it does, you just defeat a foot jumping around with a flag, and then you jump on a spaceship. That's it.
Yeah, but that's how a lot of those games were. It's just a fucking screen. If you got a screen, period, it
Right.
didn't like just start immediately over.
But I remember Rainbow Island. Rainbow Island was cool because you had to collect diamonds. You had to collect the gems, the color of the rainbow, and spell rainbow throughout the level. So you get 3 levels before you get to the boss, which is like most NES games. And then you have to spell rainbow, and then after you beat the end, which was a giant, one of them was a giant spider. I forgot what it was at the end. And you would get extra levels. And that we spent all kind of time, and I cannot find that game. I have an NES that works.
Yeah,
I
well,
cannot find it.
fuck, man. Some of those games like that, like the tournament fighters and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
NES, like some of those things.
Well, now we got the Cowabunga collection, so that don't
Right, of course, but yeah.
Well, I found out because I was like, man, I want Snake Ride and Roll. Can't find it. Rare Replay has it on there.
I have it. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get Rare Replay. It's like $16 on Amazon.
it's totally fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally worth it, man. Viva Pinata 1 and 2, man. You got
Banjo Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Which we have a Nintendo 64, and my wife, I mean, she loves
Oh, man.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, you got Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, and Banjo.
Was it
What was
No,
the
it
third
was
one?
Nuts and Bolts or something. No,
Yeah, I think that was it.
something like that.
Something
I
like
don't know. I see. I never got into Banjo Kazooie because what turned me off of Rare a little bit
Mm-hmm.
on 64, whenever Banjo Kazooie and stuff was coming out, was Donkey Kong.
You didn't
I
like
did
it?
not like Donkey Kong
Oh.
64.
You
I
just like-
love Donkey Kong Country, but
See, I
Donkey
didn't
Kong
care.
64.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64, I didn't really care for
Yeah.
either. I was like, like, yeah, the three on the Super Nintendo are the shit,
yeah.
man. That's the holy trilogy,
Oh yeah.
But well, so I have to ask, do you like Conquer?
Oh yeah, I like Conker.
Right, alright.
Conker's bad for a deal. Hell yeah.
All right.
Who didn't like a foul mouth talking squirrel? And you're like, my parents will let me play this, but I don't think parents knew.
Dude, there's two things I could say if I could go back in time and just grab and hold on to sell and just be set with. It would be the one time where at Toys R Us they had the fucking just this bin full of Conquer 64, like for Nintendo 64, like sealed copies stuff
Yeah.
like that, for like $3.
Oh shit, I would have. Yeah,
Dude.
dude, you could have grabbed like 4 of them and been a millionaire right
Yeah.
there.
But in another time we were at Walmart and they had the fucking Earthbound.
oh god, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, they had a bunch of Earthbounds on,
that. I think
on
one of them
clearance.
sold for like almost $1 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would definitely.
I remember all that stuff. I remember shit, man, dude. When the place we were working at before together,
Oh yeah.
when I first started working over there, they actually had a copy of the PlayStation 4 Fortnite.
Oh damn, I remember that. Yeah.
That's like fucking expensive, man.
Well, yeah.
That's a rare game.
Especially sealed copy. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
now you just download it and.
Right.
But speaking of that, going back in time, I think about that a lot of the times. If I could go back in time and just like write a note to like my dad in the '80s, hey, invest in Macintosh,
Right.
invest in this, invest in Kodak, but
Hot Tub
spell
Time
this,
Machine.
yeah, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I wish I could do stuff like that. Yeah, just I'm not gonna go all the way into that because there's a lot of things I would change.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we're not gonna talk. No, this is no politics allowed on
Oh,
this
hell no.
ever.
Oh, I mean, not on politics or anything like that. Just in my life, I would change, and some people would be like, "You would actually change? That's horrible. You think that way?" No.
People who say that don't understand. It's a baby Hitler.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's okay.
It's like what is it, Endgame, when he's like, "Why don't we just go back in time with Thanos' baby and we just."
Right.
and Hulk's just like, "Okay, horrible."
But yeah, man. Anyway, let's tangent off on that one too much. So bringing in what other toys you were playing with? So how about that?
Oh, dude, I remember. I mean, all I wanted was Ninja Turtles toys. So I had a bunch of Ninja Turtles toys.
Yeah.
And my parents made that happen. Like I said, my dad was a carpenter. We could have had a lot of money. My grandfather made some investments and used my dad's bank account as a thing, and my dad got screwed by the bank and they took his money. But we could have had a lot of money, but it ended up, so my dad just stuck with carpenter work. So we struggled for a good bit, but they made it happen for us. Like I said, the Ninja Turtles toys. That's all I wanted for Christmas. We ended up getting a shitload of them, and me and my brother were happy. And then as I got a little older, you've seen that. My favorite Transformers was Beast Wars, and when that came out, and I remember going to Walmart and doing little chores around the house, and my dad paying me $5 or $10 here and there, and buying. Now I see those toys still wrapped up, and I'm like trying to buy them, and they're like $50 to $100 on. So I remember doing that, and then even though it was a horrible movie, the toys were awesome, and you've seen that too. Batman and Robin toys, the Kenner toys.
Yeah.
That was my favorite ones. Yeah.
Man, like, to go back in time, like when we're like a little tangent on that little thing. We used to go to garage sales a lot as a kid, and garage sales still exist.
Oh yeah, they still do.
But I mean, we did that as a kid. It was like my mom, my aunt, I think my grandmother, and we would get up early and we go hit all these garage sales and stuff like that. And then, like, I miss, man, that ritual we had, like on the Saturdays and Sunday mornings and stuff like that. We hit these garage sales. We would go to church, and we would go like to this place Semino's, which is Cajun name, Semino's, and we get some French bread.
The grocery store in
You know, very,
Okay.
and they had like the hot French bread, man, like
That sounds
huge,
so good, actually.
dude. And we get that, and we go and play like Mario 3 at my aunt's house for like forever. Oh yeah, dude, take me back.
Oh, that would be great. Well, yeah. Well, since we've been talking, and you said a little bit about yourself, I'll say a little bit about me. So I grew up in a small town, a little bit, not that far from where John grew up. It's called St. Martinville, and like I said, I got into the nerdy stuff from my mom, and um, I remember growing up like liking Power Rangers and finding friends that like it. But as we grew up, I remember in high school I'd go sleep over at a friend's house, and he'd be like, "Hey, there's a new season of Power Rangers story. Let's just," and that was our thing to see how it would be. Let's just see how hot the new Rangers are. There you go. Like the new girls are and stuff like that. So we do that, and like I remember having to hide things I like because kids were horrible. They find out you like something, and they could like it too, but it's just that stigma in school. They'd make fun of you. And as I got older, dude, like I can't tell you how many how many times as I got older, and I'm seeing like I'm wearing like my Ninja Turtles. Like right now, I'm wearing a Freddy Krueger shirt, but wearing Ninja Turtle shirt, wearing a Power Ranger shirt, and girls that were like cheerleaders. And, oh man, I love that show. And I'm like, what the hell? Why the hell didn't you tell me in high school? I was wearing the same thing in high school and
Right.
stuff like that. But it's just things like that. Like I remember growing up nerdy, and it was like frowned upon, and now it's like people are like, oh man, and like you end up becoming friends with people that you would never thought you'd be friends with because they're nerdy too. They just hide it because they were in sports or stuff like that. That was the best. That's growing up right there. I mean, that's just
Well, yeah, like fantasy culture, nerd stuff like
yeah.
that's like become so mainstream. Like, of course, like with like Marvel movies and everything
Oh
else,
yeah.
that Lord of the Rings and stuff. That stuff's all cool. Big Bang Theory and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. What's um what's one of the movies that is frowned upon? No, not frowned upon, but like is considered like one of the horrible movies that you love.
Oh, dude, Cabin Boy, Cabin Boy, man. That's Chris Elliott, dude. It is like so low budget, so badly like yeah, like that first take was enough. Like
Right.
um, plot and just the story. I mean, it's just a fucking mess.
Cabin
Um,
Boy. Cabin
like
Boy.
you can't watch it and like not laugh. Like there's
Right.
like no like seriously like oh this is such a good movie. I'm so into the story and stuff like you're like this is shit. Like why couldn't somebody stop this from happening?
Why didn't they stop it?
Yeah.
Huh? And I'm gonna go back. Mine would be going back to the video game movies. Street Fighter. Who the hell thought putting
I saw that.
Van Damme as a American hero?
But he was the man at the time. No.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Forehead
So
bump.
he was the man at the time. At the time. Um, I saw it at the theater, but his time ended.
Yeah.
Okay. This is, I've been like this is a tangent. I've been watching Steven Seagal reviews, like old movies, like well, not old movies, like Steven Seagal. He's still making movies.
Who is? He's paying for the shit himself.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, and like he's like upfront probably everything on it and stuff like that. Like or just some bullshit where it's like some tax write off and they're getting their money back.
He's turned into Will Sasso's impersonation from Mad TV, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. No, okay.
yeah. Oh my god, and the fighting is so bad. Like the stunt double like doesn't even like look like him, and they use the same like image over and over again. They flip it, they rotate it. Um, oh, it's so bad. And then like literally like he told this girl in this movie the last line. He's like, "Now you're gonna give me that good pussy." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you just gotta see him. Like you just.
In that word for him?
I mean,
Well, I mean,
he wrote
it,
the
but
movie.
still. If
Yeah.
I tell my wife that right now, she would slap me.
So what is it normally like?
Right? But like, if I walked up to my wife and say, "Hey, give me that good pussy," she'd either laugh in my face, slap me, or say, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Right. So what about you? What's a movie that?
It's Street Fighter.
Right, Street Fighter.
Yeah,
sorry.
Street Fighter. But and like I said, now that you realize that, yeah, Van Damme's time was over. At that time, forehead bump. But that everyone said, man, he was just so high on cocaine.
Oh yeah, I could see it. I could see it in there. I mean,
But what really made that movie? Well, one, that's where I kind of fell in love with. What is it, Ming Na?
yeah.
Yeah, she's still. I mean, as she gets older, she's looking even
My
better.
God, when I found out
Yeah.
I was the same person, dude, like I
Yeah.
was fucking blown away because I'm like, I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett. And I'm like, I liked it. So hey, I said it. It's on record. But I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett, and I'm like, man, she's beautiful. I'm like
Yeah.
looking at the stuff. Well, I was trying to see
Where have you noticed her before?
no, where Matt Berry
Oh, okay.
was in there because Matt Berry is supposed to be in the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
He was a robot.
Okay.
But I was trying to see where the fuck is he at. So I'm looking at IMDb and I'm like looking at her, and I click on her stuff. I'm like, holy shit, that's the same
She
woman,
was
man.
in so much stuff that you.
Yeah, but I was
Like-
like, I was like, that's Chun Li. I was like,
Yeah.
that's fucking blew my
Like-
mind.
Like that's where, like I said, that's where I fell in, and that's where I fell in love with Ming Na, and Raul Julia.
Yeah, man,
For
he was
someone
dying in that
he
fucking
was
movie, man.
dying, but he gave it his all, and he was the best part of that movie.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
yeah, like, and he did great. And there's times where you can tell because they said there was stuff that was filmed before, and there's stuff that he did after his treatment, and he lost weight and stuff like that.
Right.
You can tell. Like, but my favorite part is that it was like, well, the day that bison graced your land, it was the most important day of your life, and he just goes, but to me, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fucking
that
most awesome
Great,
line.
like great line in a horrible movie. I mean, but you also got the Russian dude who played Max Schreck's son on Batman Returns, who just goes, "Quick, change the channel whenever the
Right.
thing's coming towards you." He's like he played
Zangief.
he played the perfect idiot. But they turn some of those characters into jokes.
Oh, well, I mean, you
Yeah.
had to shoehorn all
Oh,
of them
yeah.
in there. You
Well,
know?
like with DJ,
fucking
when,
Charlie Blanca.
Oh yeah, and Blanca just, and then like
There's
Dalsim at the end. Oh, he's gonna be in the sequel. I doubt there's gonna be a sequel.
Right.
But
So you might be hearing a plane.
yeah. Oh, I hear it now. Yeah, but with but it's just like with DJ, whenever he's just saying something else, and he's like, okay, stuff with.
Right.
Wasn't that the one? What's his name? Joanna Man or something like that. That played it?
I don't know that, but I remember, man, like Cammy was Kylie Minogue.
Oh yeah, Kylie Minogue. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
boy.
another one. And then the one that
Dude,
played T-Hawk kind of. I mean, I know it wasn't him, but it kind of looked a little bit like what's his name? From another good 1990 Demolition Man.
Wesley Snipes.
No, not Wesley Snipes. The one that gets hit in the head, and he says that you get hit, get a bump on the noggin, and think you're Pancho Villa. Benjamin Bratt.
All right.
Kind of reminded me of him a little bit. It wasn't Benjamin Bratt, but I just think of Benjamin Bratt when it comes to that. But I like Demolition Man too. But that's my. Everyone's like, oh man, this movie's horrible. Yeah, I know it's horrible, but I will watch it every single time, and that's Street Fighter. So.
Oh man, I own it like a couple times over and stuff like that. Okay, so what about TV shows? What's your favorite TV shows now? So yeah, we're gonna kind of get to a
Right
little bit
now,
modern now, get a little bit of our taste.
Dude, I mean, TV shows right now. Dude, I'll still watch Power Rangers. I don't really watch much TV
Alright.
shows. Like I'll sit and watch Power. I mean, I'm actually enjoying this new. This new season of Power Rangers, but I watch. Well, hell, I've been watching. I don't care what people say. I actually like She-Hulk. It's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
And but I've been watching like some on that horror Netflix app that I call it, the Shudder. I've been watching is the 101 scariest moments of
Yeah,
in-
but no, like I mean, like I guess I should clarify.
yeah, you might
Like shows like of all time. So I know like I'm gonna just pull like Supernatural's one of yours.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like stuff like that, like
Smallville.
Okay, Smallville. There you go.
Yeah, I could
Smallville.
watch Smallville over and over again. Same thing as Supernatural.
Okay,
Another one, Batman Beyond.
Batman. Oh man, best intro.
Oh yeah.
So perfect for that show. So beyond, yeah. Okay. Any other TV shows?
Keeping with the superhero stuff, but I could watch. I mean, it's another Batman, but have you ever watched The Batman?
The Batman. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it. I did.
Yeah.
I really did.
I wish it was longer. It was only 5 seasons, but
Yeah.
it's still good.
Yeah. See, I love, like, of course, I love The Office,
Oh, yeah.
Parks and Rec and stuff. IT Crowd. I was a big Doctor Who. I was huge, man. I was like addicted so hard to Doctor Who for the longest
You know,
time.
I tried to get into Doctor Who. I don't know why. I might have just got wrong time in my life at that point. Yeah,
It's weird, man. Like Doctor Who, like if you come in on an odd episode and stuff like that, you can get fucking just
It'll
like
just throw you off,
swat
yeah.
you all. You'd be like, what the
well,
fuck
it's the
is
same thing with
this?
Supernatural. You get into the wrong episode and it's like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, exactly. There's it's called Blink. I want to say it's Blink. Is it Blink? Somebody correct me. If you, it's one day maybe. Anyway, I think it's called Blink, but and that's the episode. That's like the fucking gateway drug. You show somebody that Doctor Who episode, and they like you kind of get everything you need to know, and like the Doctor is like barely in it.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it's just it's just a really cool time travel like mind fuck kind of episode.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that show.
Speaking of Doctor Who.
Yep. Uh, he's pointing out my the Bango, the TARDIS explosion from season 10. And I like something, man, like Red Dwarf, one of my favorite shows.
Okay.
Love Red Dwarf. Stargate, SG-1. I liked all the Stargate stuff, man. It was really good.
Was pretty good.
Yeah, Atlantis was good too, man. When they started doing the crossover stuff, man, that shit was some good fucking TV, dude. But like Atlantis and SG-1 were doing crossovers.
Yeah, I remember seeing like I didn't watch Atlantis as much as I did SG-1, but I tell you what, all time favorite show growing up when it started, and I watched all 15 seasons, and I'm not talking about Supernatural. ER, another show.
Wait, what?
ER, another show that Ming Na was on with George
Oh,
Clooney.
ER.
Yeah, ER.
I thought you said Eeyore. I
No,
was
not
like,
ER. ER.
oh, ER. Dude, I haven't seen a fucking episode of ER.
Dude, it was pretty good.
I mean, I heard, yeah, but
And Ming Na was on it, and George Clooney, and he was even on it. That's why they picked him to be Batman, because he had won like Sexiest Man Alive, and there you go. He's our next Batman, and even he regrets. He apologizes for it all the time.
oh man, yeah, man, let me strike. Like, yeah, so like I've never seen an episode of ER. I've never seen an episode. What's the other hospital one? Is there another hospital one? I thought there
There's
was.
a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
I've seen a couple episodes, but it wasn't my thing. That's too lovey-dovey.
Yeah, and until recently, I had never seen an episode of Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, I love Cheers.
Yeah, I watched like the first like 2 seasons.
But I tell you what, my brother-in-law messaged me and asked me if I had ever watched, because I remember growing up watching it with my mom, Quantum Leap, and he saw the first couple
Oh, God.
episodes of the
Yeah.
new Quantum Leap, and he
Oh.
said, "Dude, it's awesome." And it's not a reboot; it's more of like a requel, a reboot sequel.
Yeah, kind of like MacGyver was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's not like the Magnum PI shit, but no.
Right. Right.
But no, like, speaking of that, like shows like that, CBS, CSI Miami was one that I watched a lot.
Yeah.
That was the one with David Caruso, and every time he'd do something, he put his sunglasses on.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and House.
House, man. I watched some House off and on, but like, man, like House was fucking big, dude, for a little bit, dude. Like everybody was
I
like,
still have the shirt. I mean, it's too small for me now because I was real skinny back then, but like really skinny back then. It says "Everybody Lies,"
yeah,
and that was House's biggest thing is, no matter what, they can tell you they're telling the truth, but everybody lies. There you go.
yeah. That was a fucking dope ass show, man.
Yeah.
And I just remember like everybody like it was, like I didn't even know what it was. It's just like people talking about it so much. That's how I kind of heard about it and stuff. Man, a show that I watched a little bit growing up, because he used to play in the afternoon after the cartoons would play. Like after the cartoons would play, you were sitting there like a fucking fiend, like just like, come on, is there anything else on one of the channels? Like you're just like flipping around, like please be another cartoon, because like there was no YouTube, there was none of that shit, you know. And sometimes I would watch Three's Company or like Facts of Life.
You take the good, you take the bad.
Yeah, but Three's Company I'd watch, and it was like a little bit more as a young man. Like things in there a little bit more titillating to me.
Yeah, you look at Suzanne Summers then, it's like, man, she's hot. Now you look at her now and go, what the fuck?
Yeah, and Joyce DeWitt.
Yeah. But you see, Three's Company, I think, which one did Jack end up marrying at the end?
None of them.
He was something. Was someone said yes towards like the end of like the series, and I remember that because it was right after it was a family reunion. the same summer that Batman and Robin came out,
Yeah.
and we're in Houston. Astroworld was still a thing,
Oh fuck, man.
and we're getting ready to go there, and we're at a cousin's house, and we're all ready. We're waiting for my brother to get. We're waiting for other people to get ready. We're drinking our coffee milk. That's a thing down here, coffee milk, for Cajun people, for non-Cajun people that don't understand that. And then my brother jumps up. My older brother jumps up. He's about your age, and so he's, let's see, 97 is when it came out.
Yep.
So he's 17, and he's jumping up like an idiot. Yeah, she said, yeah, just being an idiot, even though he had seen the episode before, because Three's Company had ended long before that. And he lands on my brother's Batmobile toy and slices his foot. And he is so pissed because he has to walk around Astroworld all day with a slice down the middle of his foot. And I'm like, we still talk about that. The same thing, like injuries as a kid caused by your siblings. Have you ever had that?
Oh, dude, I got a fucking cut across the top of my finger. I was sitting there washing dishes, and my asshole brother is like passing by and is like, "I'm done with this," and he just fucking throws a tuna can, like into the fucking, like it just like lands right on top of me, like cut a chunk.
I have a scar above my left eye, and this was Halloween. It was on a Saturday, so we weren't at school. Bright as day outside. I mean, bright as day. And we're on the top bunk. We had a bunk bed. We're on the top bunk, me and my little brother. And there's a band around here. I don't know if you ever heard of Nickel Beer.
Nope.
No. Well, our uncle, he's playing in it again. He played the keyboards, but in the early 90s, he played the keyboard in there too. Well, the drummer, who's still a good friend of the family, for some reason gave my little brother, I'm 5, he's 3, gave my little brother, a 3-year-old, a drum cymbal. So I turn off the light and make a ghost noise. Still bright as day, curtains are open and everything. Turn on the light. My little brother, like a fucking frisbee, throws the drum cymbal at my face. And thank God he was just 3, because if he was any older, it would probably like cut my freaking head off.
Right.
But it like hit me right above my eye. And my dad hears, he's like, hey, sends my sister, who's just 3 years older than me, so she's 8. He's like, hey, Abby, one of the boys are crying. Go check on him. My sister brings me down the stairs of the apartment that we're living in. My face is covered with blood. And like I said, my dad was a boxer, so he's a rough and tough guy. My mom's freaking out. Oh, my God, we got to bring him get stitches. Oh, my God. Like, she's freaking out because that's the type of mom my mom was. My dad's like, oh, no, put a Band-Aid on it. It's going to scar. Oh, give him character. I was like, oh, great.
Hey. That's how it was, man. Put some Robitussin on it, or put some ice on it.
Put some tussin on it. But yeah, we had that. Man, my older brother, we're 6 years apart. He was pissing me off one time, and he's pushing me. For some reason, our parents were letting us jump on the sofa.
Wow.
And I'm jumping on the sofa, and my mom calls him, and she says, Davey. And he turns around and says, what, Mom? And when he turns back around, I jumped up, kicked him right in his nose. So he's like
Nice.
bleeding all over the place. Dude, they would make me and my little brother fight.
Oh,
it was
man.
fun. Like I
There's a
remember,
story.
like nowadays you can't do stuff like that. Like they
No.
want to call child services. Oh look, they're just playing around. Like what the heck?
Fuck, man. There's a story like I can't even tell it on the podcast, man.
You guys would tell me after.
No, it's just like I had forgot about it, but like my 2 friends, Brian and Kevin, were hanging out at my house, and I think we were playing Street Fighter or something like that. And my friend Brian was sitting on my bed, Indian style. My friend Kevin was sitting on the floor playing the game, and I think I was either like on the computer or something. But somebody said something to somebody, and a shoe was thrown at Brian's face and like caught him like right dead center in the nose, and like immediately his nose
Like
just
just blood.
exploded,
Oh,
dude.
God.
Just like all over my sheets. So we're like, oh shit, what do we do? So he took the sheets, rolled them up, and went to go put them in the washing machine. And it was like late at night this happened. So the next
Did all
day,
the blood come out?
no, like we just put it in the washing
Oh,
machine.
y'all
We didn't turn
didn't
it on. No. And like the next morning, dude, like a little bit later, my dad comes, like, kick the door open. He's like, "Explain." Like, so yeah. Anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
at least y'all got explained. My dad would be like, "All right, y'all lined up. Go. I already broke the switch. Now I'm whipping your
Right.
asses."
Well, you gotta explain what a switch is. This is probably.
A switch is you break a little. Like that was the worst thing to hear as a kid. Go break a switch. I don't want to break a switch. Like we were crying, and you got snot. Like there's the cry where you got the snot coming out you. You like going to it's stuff like that. And you got to go break a little twig off of a tree, and don't get a big one that's gonna break with the first swing, because then you got to go break another one, and they whip your ass with it. Like not abuse you, like just spank your butt a couple of times, and then sit you down, let you cry, and then my dad always had this thing where I do that with my kids. It's a lot harder to do. Not hear the plane again. It's a lot harder to do that with a 15-year-old, but with my 6-year-old, if I whip his butt and one smack on his butt, I let him cry it out. Then I talk to him and be like, "This is why you got whipped. Do you understand what you did wrong?" Instead of I don't just go and spank him and not let him understand, not let him know why.
Right.
I did.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
like,
my dad used to always do that. But I know, I mean, shit. I grew up with. I saw my friends, and I was like, "Hey, Papa, I never want to go back there again," because I mean, I saw a friend get punched right in the face. We're 8 years old by his dad. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm never going back there again." Hey, you want to come sleep in my house? Fuck no.
right.
So I thank my dad for that, especially discipline. I know how it was, whenever how horrible I was, and I'm seeing it in my fucking kids right now. I want to strangle them sometimes, but yeah.
Oh no, my dad was like that too. I mean, like he never like fucking put hands on us and shit.
Yeah.
But I remember we got caught one time. We got snuck into a girl's house, and her fucking parents caught us. I mean, this whole story is it's the funniest fucking story, but it's really hard to tell without like fucking like almost like a map with physical components to move around to show how this happened. But there was a miscounting of bodies. Long story short. And oh man, how fast I could say this. There was 4 girls, 3 guys in this room, okay?
How old were y'all?
Like 15, 16,
Okay.
17.
So horny age, okay.
Yeah. So 2 people had left. Like 2 people had left the room. All right? And one person was outside. Yeah, it's not gonna make any sense. And like enough noise was made to wake the parents. So the parents came in the room to check on us to see what was going on. And in the process of talking to us, 2 more people entered the room from the bathroom.
Oh God.
And the mom did the math, and it was 1 head count over. So like she goes and she like pulls the sleeping bag open that's on the floor, and my friend Brian was in there, like just in his boxer shorts. She's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "Brian." And she's like,
abort.
"Oh, dude." And she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I don't know." And dude, she like fucking like started screaming. Like he ran out the fucking window. Now like me, I was like the fugitive, dude. Like target number 1. She comes running back in the room, and like she sees me, dude. And she's like, "Get your gun." But yeah, long story short, we all got caught. He was like, he had his fucking revolver, her dad, spinning it on the table. Like we're all,
Russian roulette style shit.
like just like well, he was spinning, like tapping it and all shit like that. And I'm sitting across the table from him, I swear to God. And like in like we're in the kitchen like area,
Right.
just me and him at the table. There's like a love seat and a sofa behind us.
So were you thinking you were about to get shot?
Yeah, well the 4 girls are on the sofa, and my friend Brian and Kevin are on the fucking love seat, and I'm just sitting on this fucking at the table like across man to man from this dude,
Right.
who's like wants to murder me, and then my dad shows up, so we had to call my dad. My dad showed up, and my dad was just like, "What the fuck were you doing, you dumb bastard?" My dad's like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you," and like he's like, "Do you know I could like her dad was like, do you know I could have killed him?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you should have probably killed him, but he's gonna wish you did." And he's like, "I could have killed him. He was in my house. I could have killed him dead." And my dad's like, "He's gonna wish you did."
Way to go! You're talking about murdering a 15-year-old. Okay.
No, but like, my dad's like, "He's gonna wish you killed him. Trust me."
Did your dad high five you after that? No.
Yes. We got in the car. My dad's like, "What the fuck is wrong with your dumb ass mother?" Like he was like, "Are you stupid?" He was like,
Make sure that-
he's like, he was like literally like my dad was like, "Get them to come out the house.
Yeah.
Don't go in the house."
Thanks for playing next time, Dad. Thanks for playing.
So, yeah. My dad had some cool moments.
That's gonna have to be another episode where we could talk about shit that we did that we should have got killed for.
Oh, absolutely.
Or shit we did that was just funny as teenagers. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, that's a fucking. everything, man.
Oh yeah.
Got scars to prove it.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a lot of scars. Hey, like Google Dial say, scars are souvenirs you never lose.
Right, right. Okay. So what about so we did TV shows. Some of your favorite movies as an adult.
As an adult,
Yeah.
it's always gonna be favorite all-time movie that I can watch over and over again. Is always gonna be, no matter what, it's gonna be a Halloween pick or something like that. Friday the 13th Part 7. That's what that one. The Boondock Saints.
Yep.
The Dark Knight.
Nice.
And you're gonna laugh at this, but I can watch it no matter what. And it's a chick flick, but for some reason I like The Notebook.
I've never seen that movie in its entirety.
It's actually a pretty funny story about
yeah.
that. My older brother, my sister-in-law tried to get him to watch it, and he sat down and watched the whole thing because she said, "Oh yeah, they show tits in it." And the whole time, end credits rolled, and he goes, "What the hell? There was no tits in there."
Like fucking flashing there, like fucking Fight Club at the end.
Right.
Instead.
It's like there's no tits in there.
Fucking-
Well, what about yours? What are some of yours?
Oh man, like Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, I love Big Lebowski.
Dude, like the first time I saw that movie, I hated it.
You know, the first time I watched Big Lebowski was about 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
My first time, I was working at Blockbuster Video, dude.
Blockbuster.
Oh, dude, it was
For
fucking
you
greatest
younger
job.
people, Blockbuster was.
Well, I worked right when it was going out, kind of. But man, it was the fucking greatest job ever. Like back in the day, it was so fun.
I miss going to Blockbuster.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was a fucking event.
I probably still
We're gonna do an episode
Yeah.
about video rentals,
That'd be awesome.
like that whole experience and stuff like that, and like some of our memories. But we're gonna have to get some. I want to get a little bit more. If we get more established, so we can get some contributions where people actually tell us some of their favorite ones.
Oh yeah.
Because I know there's us. We know people that are gonna listen to this that know us, but
yeah.
we're hoping that it spreads more. But definitely all the feedback in the comments and stuff like that. But so yeah, the first time I saw Big Lebowski, I was working at Blockbuster Video, and I watched it. And I was like, this sucks. It's fucking dry. Like I thought I guess I thought it was gonna be like some kind of slapstick.
You were looking for the wrong kind of humor.
Yeah,
At the point. Yeah.
And then I went to work the next day, and like the guys were like laughing. David and like Kurt were laughing their asses off, like quoting it and shit. And I'm like, did we watch the same movie? And they're like, oh yeah, this part and this part. So like, I'm gonna watch it again. So I checked it out again, and I watched it again, and like, I don't know, it just clicked.
Yeah.
And oh man, yeah, it's
like I love John Goodman in there.
oh, everybody in there, man.
Yeah.
They're so quotable and just so awesome. Like they're so iconic little things in
Right.
there. It's
Right.
great, and they like don't ever make a sequel.
Oh no,
No.
They don't need to ruin that with the sequel. That's the same thing as Fargo. They don't need to ruin that with it.
Right, same thing, yeah.
So,
Dawn of the Dead, the original.
the original.
The original, yeah. Like that movie's just so much fucking fun, man. Like it's just like you're in this huge mall and it's just it goes.
But you also got, I mean, one of the best special effects, gore special effects people working on that. So
Yeah.
it's,
I mean the
Tom
gore,
Savini.
but the fucking makeup on the zombies is just like that's the only part that kills me. It's just like it's so bad. It's just like blue
yeah.
and shit on most of them and stuff. But I just like the passage of time on there and like
like you can tell when they bite the skin that it is like styrofoam.
Oh,
on
yeah.
there, but still, it's like, oh, Tom Savini is just amazing. Like, and now that you think about it, the dude's in his 70s, almost in his 80s, and you're like, he's gonna be gone one day, and it's kind of sucky now because they use too much CGI for stuff like that.
oh, everything's CGI, man. That's like we've been talking a lot about like classic movies and horror movies and stuff like that, and like I've been watching like the old Frankensteins and the old Mummy and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And when you
Me too.
watch that shit, man, that's all just a fucking set, dude. It's just so beautiful, man. It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
it doesn't exist.
And now
Like everything is green screen.
it's like you take the Wolfman from 1941, then you take the Wolfman 2010. Now don't get me wrong. Like the director's cut of the Wolfman from 2010 with Benicio del Toro was amazing. I like the director's cut. The practical makeup, they wanted practical because Benicio del Toro wanted that, and like the practical makeup on him, it's amazing. It's just that one scene where they're trying to, oh, you're not really a werewolf, it's all in your head, and they're trying to make him, they put him in front of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
That scene, the CGI just ruins it. But then there's just, Anthony Hopkins just phones it in that whole time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like he
got my
didn't give
check.
a shit. Yeah.
I'm hungry.
That's the only parts that ruin it. That CGI out of there, like, because Benicio del Toro, I get do that makeup so much better. Like, and I like the 1941 Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr. But I like the makeup they did on Benicio del Toro. Even the makeup they did on Anthony Hopkins. Well, even though it was like a stunt double or something like that.
Right, right.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks great. Like, it wasn't CGI or anything. It's not like what is it? American Werewolf in London. The practical effects they did with him changing, dude.
Oh,
Oh my
everything
God.
about
But
that.
then you get to Underworld, and they got practical suits, but the heads are just flopping around like.
Right. That looks fucking.
Yeah. But I like American Werewolf in London. Even hell, sometimes like that's another one that's like so bad, but I can sit down and watch it whenever it plays. American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh shit. No.
For some reason.
No sir.
I don't know why. Might be the boobs.
Yeah, that's probably it. Another one for me is 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Like, love that movie, man. Like, there's like almost no talking in there. I mean, like, there's been so many like deep dive discussions, breakdowns about that everything
Yeah.
Kubrick's done.
It's the only Kubrick movie that is just horrible, and even he shunned it, was Eyes Wide Shut.
Wait,
And that was the last one.
yeah.
That
Yeah, and like I've watched a retrospective some stuff on it recently, and it kind of like made me change my mind a little bit about it and stuff. To the point where I actually like to sit down and really just watch it again.
Yeah. I mean, but you got Nicole Kidman there too. So.
Yeah, and it's always Tom Cruise is such an interesting. Like, some people fucking hate Tom Cruise. You know, either
There's
love
some
him, hate
movies
him.
I like him. There's some movies that
See.
like Mission Impossible. I could sit and watch him do shit to Mission Impossible all day. The Mummy, fuck no.
No, well, yeah, that's fuck no. That's
But
all.
what is it? Another Kubrick film.
Full Metal Jacket,
Full Metal Jacket, Clockwork Orange.
of course.
Clockwork Orange. I've tried to get my wife to sit down and watch that, but she can't get. I mean, which is understandable. She can't get past the rape scene.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, fucking it's hard.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that he's raping a woman singing in the rain. But and most people, I hear a dog.
I heard it
But,
too. Yeah, just now.
But some people they can't. They look at that. Oh, that's all this movie's about. No, it's about like. It's about how it ends and stuff like that. Like.
Right, he gets the abuser basically gets broken to the point like where
He
he
even if he thinks about that shit, he gets sick.
yeah, and like he
You know,
can't
they
help
actually
himself.
did that to what is it, Malcolm
McDowell.
McDowell? Yeah.
He put his eyes
Actually
open like
put
that.
his eyes open like that and stuff like that.
I mean, there's some fucking high res pictures of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kubrick is a fucking perfectionist, you know.
Yeah. Didn't he do what else did he do?
The Shining.
Shining, yeah, that's what I was about to say. The Shining, yeah. Which was, and he drove Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall,
Oh,
yep.
yeah, he drove.
Oh, he
crazy.
fucking drove her crazy, but like,
But she went crazy herself in the later years too. Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, just everything. Like, he was a photographer,
Yeah.
so like everything he did was a planned shot. So Full Metal Jacket, like the way he shot it, the sky, like where he wanted to be, like that time of the year, all that stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, he knew what he wanted.
Oh yeah, like if you go in the barrack scenes, that dude, go try to find a fucking light, like look in the shots and stuff, try to see a light in the ceiling and stuff. You won't. Just the
Well,
way.
it's the same thing with what is it? Apocalypse Now with Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Dude, he knew what he wanted, and the sad thing is he knew he wanted Marlon Brando to play the character Marlon Brando did. But when Marlon Brando, that's why most of his stuff is just in shadow. When he got on there, he was just fat, out of shape, didn't want to learn his lines or anything. Kind of like another Dr. Moreau, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and stuff like that. But like Brando didn't I mean, Brando's a great actor, amazing actor, great as Jor-El and Superman. But he was one of those actors that just, hey, I'm tough shit. They want me. They're gonna get what I give them.
Right. Yeah.
So-
You get me as I give you.
But that's why most of his stuff was shot in, like the dude was supposed to have hair. Marlon Brando showed up with his head shaved. and that's why most of his stuff was shot in the dark because he was fat.
Yeah, see, I don't know a whole lot about behind the scenes on that and stuff, but I've seen it a few times. That's one movie that like I need to watch like all the different versions of and stuff.
Well, it's like Lawrence Fishburne showed up on there. He was supposed to be 16. He was only 14 at the time.
Really?
Yeah, he lied about his age so he can get that. So just think about it. We would never
Dang.
have Lawrence Fishburne if he wouldn't have got it, because that's what got him to start.
Oh, that's crazy. Fight Club.
Oh, Fight Club.
Yeah,
dude,
Fight
that's-
Club book
I
in
still
the
love-
movie.
And Helena Bonham Carter is one of those other ones that she is looking a lot better as she ages too.
Yeah, she is. I'd be scared I'd break her.
I'd scared she'd break me. I don't know what you're talking about. That bitch is crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Fight Club. I have my original hardcover around here somewhere, for that one.
I like Fight Club.
But man, I loved it. Hate the sequels.
There was a
fucking
sequel
awful.
to Fight Club.
There's a sequel comic book
Oh,
to Fight
okay.
Club,
I was about to say, I
but
was
it's
like,
written by the fucking writer, so it's an official sequel to it.
oh.
He wrote two of them, and like
How did you fuck this up?
it kind of starts off kind of cool, like where him and Marla are married and shit.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
It is fucked crash.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, it takes everything that was cool by Fight Club and just slaps you in the face with it,
Yeah.
like just dick slap to the
They start
face.
talking about Fight Club. No.
Pretty much, like fucking the writer like literally comes out of the book and starts like just fucking eye rolling like.
It's kind of like after they did Forrest Gump, the writer of the original Forrest Gump, because it was Gump and Company or something like that, and then he wrote a sequel
Dude,
to it, and it basically starts off with Forrest Gump saying, "Never let anyone make a movie about your life."
Yeah.
Which is freaking hilarious.
the fucking Forrest Gump second book, like I read like parts of it and stuff like that. Like some
Yeah.
like there was like pieces that were put in like on a website where you can check it out. That shit is ridiculous,
He
man.
played for the Saints.
Yeah, like it's like
He went into space.
I think he was at the point where he was just like, I'm gonna make sure you don't like. I don't want any more money.
They're never gonna make this movie again.
That's kind of how Ready Player 2 was.
Like they wrote Ready Player One, they got the movie made, and then they did.
Well, like Ready Player One, made a book. Of course, it was a book, and it was turned into a movie. The movie was, I liked it. So a lot of people did like
Yeah.
it. It did
Yeah,
really
I
well.
liked it. I mean, I didn't see the whole thing, but I liked what I saw. It was,
So, but a lot of shit from the book did not translate into the movie. It just couldn't.
But it happens a lot of
Yeah,
with a lot
like
of
they had a
stuff.
scene with Heathers, or like they're reenacting Heathers. They had a scene where they're reacting war games and stuff like that. Some of the characters that were in there, like they had like fucking Voltron or something like that in there. But they just like it was stuff it was hard to translate to film,
Right.
so they had to cut it out. So when he starts writing the second book, you would think that he'd be like, well, let me be in the mindset in the back of my mind that maybe this is going to be a movie.
So they just changed everything and put everything that was hard to translate.
Dude, there's a fucking part where he fights 7 versions of Prince in the book. Like, I swear to God.
Purple rain.
Like, it's all the different eras of Prince. Like, the
So-
ass cheek Prince, like
Oh,
the fucking,
the
like, the
artist
symbol
and
Prince.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
the artist Prince. Like, the freaking, like, leather. Yeah, all that.
That is hilarious.
Like, there's, like, it's like a Dragon Ball Z, like, battle with, like,
Prince.
7 versions of Prince.
To be honest, I'd pay to see that.
It would never fucking happen.
I know, but I'd pay
It
to
would
see
never
it.
fucking happen.
If it did happen, I'd pay to see it.
Like, Prince was so against digital everything. Like,
I know, but I'd still pay to see it. But no, speaking of something that should have never happened but did happen, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
never saw it. I'm glad
The-
to say I never saw it.
You remember how they said that I watched it because Link wanted to watch it, and if I mention Link, that's my little boy. But you remember how they we got to take Pepe Le Pew out, blah blah. He's like rapey, stuff like that.
Yeah, raping.
Yeah.
Raping.
Okay, they wouldn't allow Pepe Le Pew in the movie, but yet they have a whole bunch of like they had access to the whole Warner Brothers library.
Hmm.
People, you see someone that's actually standing in Arnold Schwarzenegger's gear, like it's his stunt double as Mr. Freeze. You see someone as Jim Carrey as Two-Face and stuff like that. Things like Riddler, Two-Face. Someone as Danny DeVito's Penguin. Someone as Burgess Meredith's Penguin. Stuff like that. No Pepe Le Pew, but yet you have the 4 guys from A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, they're in there?
I'm like, Pepe Le Pew was too rapey? These guys actually raped someone. Like, what the hell?
At least he was fucking romantic about it.
Right.
I kiss you.
Oh God.
And those guys just beat the shit out of the fucking
Right.
like,
While singing in the rain.
the fuel get your flowers and shit, man.
Like, and you think Michael Jordan was bad at acting? Oh my God, LeBron's acting.
Oh man, no, I didn't see it, man. Like,
It was close to. If I had to put him and Tommy Wiseau
shut
on a
up.
thing, I would pick Tommy Wiseau over LeBron.
Wow.
Yeah, you know how.
How's your sex life?
Yeah. I did not hit her. I did not.
All right, Shaun of the Dead. That's a.
Oh, I love Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I can watch that one all the time.
Oh yeah.
I let my daughter see a
That's Edgar
piece
Wright,
of it.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I let my daughter see a piece of that the other day.
Oh God.
It was the part up to the part where, like, basically the part where he wakes up and, like, he walks to the supermarket and you kind of see all the zombie shit in the background, and then, like, he walks back to the house and then, like, they're like, there's a girl in the garden, and, like, she kind of saw up to the part where, like, they realized she was a zombie, but that was enough for her brain. Like, she was just like, I know she was never gonna forget that. Like, she's like gonna be older and be like, my dad showed me something fucked up, man.
That shit was fucked up. Like, what the heck? Speaking of Edgar Wright, you know what I wish would have came to fruition? Because it would have been totally different, but I would have loved to see it.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Edgar Wright's
100% agree with that.
Even though I liked Ant-Man. I mean, Ant-Man, for some reason, people ask me, why is Ant-Man your favorite? Dude, Ant-Man's always been one of my favorites.
I think the comedy is definitely there.
Yeah.
I mean,
But not even the movie, before Paul. I mean, I love Paul Rudd, but
we're on plane night.
yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, but go ahead, Paul Rudd. What?
Oh, like I love Paul Rudd, but even before that, in the comic books,
Yeah.
and
I mean, he's such a
toys
fun
like that,
character,
yeah.
man. Like, you shrink down and, like, you got a whole new fucking world to explore and stuff
Right.
like that.
That'd
Like,
been
everything
great
looks
to-
different.
That'd have been great to do.
Yeah.
So,
That would be your superpower if you had a superpower.
I'd probably be like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, but I want the Wolverine.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah.
See what he's doing here? It's a berserker rage, he's mimicking.
Mole rats.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh God, I love Mad Max Fury Road.
Dude, like, I was working for that alarm company, having a slow day. I was like, fuck it, I'm calling it for a day. I'm gonna go see a movie.
You want to see Mad Max?
Dude, I want to see Mad Max. Dude, fucking blew my mind.
Oh, I bet.
Like, I walked out of there, I called my friend, I was like, my life is different. Like, and he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, we're gonna watch this fucking movie, man. And I was like, you come and watch it. And, like,
desert
he
now.
never goes to the theater.
Oh God.
Like, yeah, I drug that dude out to watch this movie. I was like, watch this fucking shit.
Speaking of movies in theaters, what's one movie that you've watched in the theater more than once in the past, let's say,
Fury Road.
20 years?
Fury Road.
Fury Road?
I saw
How many
Fury
times
Road
you
like 4
watched it?
times in the theater. 4 times, I think. 4, yeah. Fuck, I saw Jurassic Park a lot, like,
Yeah.
about 4 times. Star Wars a bunch of times. Like,
The Dark Knight for me 4 times. The first weekend it was open.
holy shit. I saw what's another one I saw a bunch? I saw Avatar like 3 times. Twice. Or-
Don't kill me for this. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh my god. How many times you saw that? Once?
3
3 times.
in the theater.
I saw Evita 4 times.
The Vita?
Yeah, but that was for school.
Like
It was,
the Don't Cry for Me? Okay.
yeah. Well, no, because, like, they were doing school field trips for it. So, like, if you're in English, certain English classes, you can go watch it. So I went with English class.
So you just went to,
And then,
just
like,
to get out of school, huh?
yeah. Well, like, wait, and then I went, like, with my, like, humanities class. And then I went, like, with newspaper.
Oh God.
Like, but I remember, like, I kept going. Yeah, like, it's like a 3-hour movie.
Oh God, yeah, it's
And I brought my-
horrible.
Yeah. I brought my headphones. And I can't remember who it was. It was like the 3rd time. Like, it was like my 3rd time watching it. And, like, I was listening to my headphones. And somebody tapped me. And they're like, is it almost over? And I was like, I'm looking up. Is she sick yet? They're like, no. I was like, nope, not even close. But yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, that's probably my record, I think.
Oh God. Well, movies like that, long movies, and I grew up Catholic and stuff like that. Like my mom, I'm not getting into a religious thing. I'm
Whoa.
just saying I grew up Catholic with stuff like that. So my mom, real big into church and stuff like that, wanted to bring us go watch The Passion of the Christ when it came out. And it's a good movie. Mel Gibson did great at directing and stuff like that. But we're sitting there, me and my little brother. My mom dragged us there. I'm 17. My little brother's 15. I'm like, yeah, that's about the time it came out. And we're looking around, and everyone's crying. My mom's like, I can't believe y'all not crying. I was like, we knew how it was gonna end.
Right.
Like, we hear this every Easter. So we laughing at that, and we brought, it was right, yeah. So I was like 17 because my grandfather, my mom's dad, my grandfather was that grandfather was still alive, and that brought me back to, like, we're sitting in the movie theater with him, and he's kind of tearing up because before he really discovered women in the Navy, he was going to school to be he was in the seminary, and stuff like that. Well, I remember going to watch Titanic. Dude, my mom brought me to a movie where they showed boobs. I was like,
Right.
holy crap! But everybody's crying, and my grandfather's crying, and I'm like, am I witnessing my grandfather cry? Like, what the?
Titanic, man. A funny thing, when I worked at Blockbuster and stuff, people would rent Titanic. It came on 2 tapes.
Well, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We had it.
But the guy David over there would always tell people, just start on tape 2. That's when everything good happens. That's when the ship breaks. That's when the boobies come out. He's like just jump my head.
Quick, fast forward it. All right,
Yeah.
boobs play. Rewind.
Right. So it was all scrambled right here.
Did you ever get caught watching a movie you shouldn't have been watching when you were younger?
Yes. Funny story about that one too. So me and my brother Shane were up late. We used to watch. So we didn't have a TV in our bedroom. So TV was in the living room. It was a trailer. Yeah, it was pretty much like Cinemax late at night. But the TV was like kind of like dead center. So if you walked out of my parents' bedroom, like it was like
You could see it.
It was just dead center line. Yeah. And me and my brother were like trying to see what we could find to watch on there, and we found Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh God.
And we started watching Revenge of the Nerds, man, and like, it's the fucking panty. Like, we just finished the panty raid scene,
Right.
and like, we're both sitting there just like aroused as can be. Like, we're like, oh my god, like this is the greatest thing we found. And the door opens, and we hear him change it. Like, my dad comes out like in his underwear, walks to the fridge, kind of looks at us, looks at the TV, grabs the milk, drinks the milk, puts it back in the fridge, walks back to the door, he opens it. Right as he's closing the door, he goes, "Hair pies." He goes, and they were like, "Oh shit, he knows." Like,
At least you didn't get in trouble.
no.
But I remember this. I was probably about almost 10 when we had those old cable boxes where all you had to do was press 00 to go back.
Right.
And I had it set to Nickelodeon. And I had it set to HBO. Or Showtime, Cinemax, one of those. And Showgirls was playing.
Nice.
And my sister's babysitting us, so that's how you can tell we weren't old enough to be staying by ourselves. And she comes in and she catches me. And I was watching Showgirls and I hurried up and I heard her walking and I went back. And my dumb ass, knowing, hey, I need to change it because 00 will put it right back on it.
Right.
Didn't. She put it right back on, like 00, right back on Showgirls. She told my mom, man, my mom's bitching at me, oh, wait till your dad gets here. And I'm crying because my dad was a disciplinarian. Like, I was like, I gotta go break a switch. You know what my dad goes? Oh, he's a little boy, he's gonna do that. I was like, oh, I'm not in trouble.
Nice.
I guess dads have more of an understanding when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay, so you might not know this story. Like, it's similar because you're talking about getting caught doing something like that, and it's kind of we're talking about that off thing anyway. There's a girl that I used to. It was like the one that got away. This girl,
Right.
I wanted on a date with this girl for a long time. Finally, kind of started talking to her. Got a date with her and stuff like that. Met her mom. Her mom had to meet me before we could even
Right.
like do anything, you know. And So I went to her mom's house. Yeah. Anyway, it's just her
That
mom.
house. Yeah.
Her mom was a biker chick,
Oh wow.
all tattooed up and stuff like that. Biker,
You'd have
pretty
ended up
tough,
dead
man.
with the banditos if
But she met me. We talked. We hung out over there. I got the thumbs up and stuff like that. So like the next time, I would be able to go hang out with her and stuff. So I was like, sweet, approval. Well, my friend Matt, he was. I was the first one who turned 18 out of our group of friends, and my friend Matt, like at the time, Sable, remember the wrestler
Oh, yeah.
Sable? She was in Playboy, and
I remember that Playboy.
yeah, he wanted it. Well, he couldn't get it because it was like he wasn't old enough. Well, they had
Get
this
it
place. Yeah, this place called Wagabag. And
Wagabag.
it was fucking awesome, man. Wagabag had like I could still smell it. They had comic books and like they sold cigars and all kinds of shit like
To
that.
be honest, when you said I can still smell it when you said I was about to say, I thought you were gonna say condoms.
It was just fucking smell like this plastic, like it's like right when you open a brand new pool toy all day long. But no, this place was cool as hell, and it eventually turned into from a comic book store into like a video store to like a cigarette shop. But almost always they had like a porn section in the back.
Well, yeah.
But that's like it was porn. It was like movies all around. So like you'd go through the curtain. You go, not just go. Put it in your mind. Is that another fucking jet?
Probably so.
So you go through the curtain and you go in this room. Now imagine like you're in an O, kind of, in the center of the O is all the books.
Oh god.
Okay, the walls around you is all of the tapes. So I'll walk in and my mission is to find the Playboy. Like looking for this Playboy and going through everything and stuff. I find it and I grab it and like I should just go straight out the exit, but I stop and I'm distracted by another title, and I look at it, and as I'm looking at it, I hear the sound of the curtain opening, and I look up, and it's this girl's mom coming in, and I'm like, holy shit, and I immediately drop to my knees, like to hide behind this little like the middle of the O to hide
Right.
there, yeah, because I'm like, oh man, she just made a mistake, she just walked in here by accident. She didn't mean to walk
Or you get
into.
to do like those movies where they walk one way and you walk the opposite.
I was hoping something like that was going to happen. But anyway, so I'm standing there, and then I realize where I'm kneeling is like all like the dudes, like the magazine. So it looks even worse for me, So I'm like fuck it.
Playgirl.
I'm like fuck it. So I just stand up and I'm walking out, and like we just like go like almost right into each other. And she's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, and like she's like, what are you doing back here? And I'm like, what are you doing back here?
I turned around. I got turned around. I don't know what you're talking about.
And like she's like, this is where the tattoo magazines are, and she got the tattoo magazines in her hands, and I got nothing. I was just like,
Yes, that's where I was. Oh wait, that's
Yeah.
not a tattoo magazine.
anyway. So yeah, I never went on a date with that girl. So
Oh, she turned. She probably.
I'm pretty sure she went home. She's like, he was kneeling right in front of the most horrible magazines.
He secretly might be into something else.
Right.
And see, mine's not that bad of a girl. We were dating. I used to work at a summer camp, and that'll be more of another episode with the summer camp stuff.
Oh yes.
But, so I was dating this girl, and back in high school, back my senior year, and the summer after my senior year, I had a thing for redheads. I still do a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And,
Guilty.
yeah, and she was a redheaded Catholic schoolgirl, so we were dating, and this is the first time her family basically owned Franklin.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a town.
Yeah, in Louisiana. You ever been to Franklin?
Yes,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
through Franklin.
Well, her family basically owned that. They had the insurance stuff, and they had a restaurant. Dude, food was awesome there. Well, I go and meet her parents, and they were doing a play about King Arthur, and he was playing, was it King Peregrine?
I don't
Something like
know,
that.
man.
And they had sword replicas, actual real sword replicas. So I'm sitting there at their restaurant holding his daughter's hand as he walks in, and I mean, the typical puppy dog love at 17 and 18 and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, she's like, "Hey, this is my boyfriend Bo," and he goes, "Oh, really?" and pulls out a fucking sword on me, not a gun, not, "Oh, hey, you better behave with my daughter" or something. And no, he pulls out a fucking sword, and I'm like, nice knowing you.
Oh man, I was like, please tell me y'all fought.
Yeah, no. And then like we dated for like another month after that.
After that?
And, yeah, like another month after that, and I ended up going to their homecoming game because I was at UL at the college, and she was a senior in high school. Well, like I said, growing up poor and stuff like that, her parents had like a 3-story house and stuff like that. Well, her mom brings me home. So upset about one thing that happened that she had found out about. We're not gonna go there, which you could probably guess what that was. And then apparently, I don't think her mom liked where we lived because it wasn't the best. Like it wasn't like a horrible neighborhood, but it wasn't a rich neighborhood.
Right.
So I had never seen that girl again after that. Like our whole 2-month relationship basically ended in a one night stand. It was one of those things that was like, her mom just ruined that shit for me.
Yeah. Right. I'm like, oh my god, this boy is.
But yeah, well, at least I got to go on a date with her. I mean,
Yeah.
and it wasn't ruined by Playgirl magazine. But we're gonna
Not
go ahead.
Playgirl.
Yeah, well, not Playgirl, but close to it, right?
There's a big difference, man. Like and like so. Last tangent off. I was talking about bad jokes, and this is the last before we wrap this up.
Right.
So, Playgirl magazine, like you sometimes you'll think of a joke and you think you're so fucking clever. You'll think of something like you're like, oh man, and I don't know. I was walking earlier doing something outside, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, Playgirl magazine is such a stupid idea. I was like, because like any woman could see a dick if they want to see a dick. And I was like, that's a funny joke, John. You made a funny joke. And then I started thinking about it a little bit later. I was like, that's the stupidest joke ever. I was like, Playgirl magazine. Like, what about a gay man? A gay man might want to look at Playgirl magazine. What about like a woman? Like, why would I look at a fucking Playboy? I would look at a Playboy because it's a woman that I won't get with. You know, like that's just like a model, like a supermodel. You know, like a perfect. Like.
I don't know. I've pulled some women that I've never thought I would have.
But I'm just saying, like like someone who
not Playgirl, not Playboy style, but not definitely
Right.
not Playgirl, but no.
Right, but like. A woman, beaten by was not gonna get a chiseled ab, dude. Like
Yeah, not a dad bod shit
Right.
like us. No.
So anyway,
I don't know. Dad bod things are in now. So
it's in there. So anyway, that's why I was saying it was like, sometimes you have to like take your joke apart in layers. Because I was like, once I was like, I just made a really funny joke, and then I thought about, I was like, I made a really fucking stupid
This
joke.
is a stupid ass joke. But yeah, well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end this episode. If y'all liked this, I mean, go ahead, give us a like on that on whatever y'all listening to your podcast to.
Yeah, iTunes, on YouTube, on Stitcher, whichever platform you're on, and stuff like that.
Spotify.
Yeah, subscribe if they have that option and stuff on there. Comment and stuff like that, suggestions and stuff like that, topics and stuff like that. We'll get more streamlined in as we go. Like I said, this is a very, very first premiere episode. And what are we going to be doing next?
We're gonna talk about we're gonna take 5 Halloween movies each, and we're gonna go through and
Yeah, it's the
talk
season.
about-
It's kind of like the season that time right now. It's fall, man. It actually feels great
oh, yeah,
outside.
it does feel great.
I just finished my apple cider earlier. We got like the Halloween themed lights going on in here.
We're gonna start singing Christmas music. Just kidding.
No, not
yet.
yet. The Mariah Carey is not allowed. But yeah,
She is never.
we're gonna
allowed.
pick 5 movies, Halloween movies, and not our top 5, not by any means, just 5 that we can kind of watch and we enjoy watching.
And we're
on
not just
Halloween.
talking like Halloween, like Michael Myers stuff, like scary movies.
Right?
is what we're
Yeah,
talking
thrillers, chillers, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So yeah, join us next time for that. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much, and if you want to find us and stuff like that, like you said, just check on these different platforms. We'll be on everything real soon and stuff like that. So see you guys next time.
Yep. See y'all next time.